Starts to try vlogging and trips. Anyway, good morning. Oh man, good morning. I am out here at the edge and at the foot of a mountain because I want to go up there, because as far as my research has gone, there's supposed to be a beautiful little cute mountain lake up there. And as you can see, we're in the middle of winter. I'm pretty sure it's going to be beautiful because the view down here is already beautiful. However, there is one issue, and that is that I do not have enough time. Melly needs her car back by 10:30. It's now 8:15, and according to the signs it takes about 1.25 hours to get up there, and then I need to come down here and drive off. And I'm sort of worried that I'm not going to make it. I don't know if this is the right way to go, because there was a sign, and also the map says there should be a way over there, but there isn't. This is the only thing I found. There's no sign here, and with this tempo, walking through the snow like this, I am never gonna make it to that lake on time. So the plan has not worked out. I'm hiking through pretty deep snow here, and therefore I'm taking far longer than I should be. And even the time that the sign said at the bottom that I should be taking if there weren't any snow is not enough time for me to get to that lake. So I think this is the moment when we need to adjust, and therefore I've sort of accepted now that I'm not going to make it to the lake, and I'll come here another day to get that lake. So for now, I think I'll just stay in this forest and wait for the lights to come here, because if you look up there, you can see that because the sun is coming higher, the light in the forest is coming lower, and therefore maybe in about half an hour's time, this forest will be glowing in some beautiful morning sunlight. And I think that is when I'll get out the Pentax and start shooting. Because for now, the conditions are just not so interesting. I mean, it's beautiful here, but for photography, light is so important, and I think the light here is mediocre, and we do not photograph mediocre. Alright, there is light ahead. I think what we've been looking for is now right ahead of us. It looks like we might be getting to the ridge of this mountain, into the light. All the trees there are glowing, so I am getting optimistic that over there is where we're going to shoot the first photo. I've gotten the camera out. I'm ready. I think I'll get my first shot here already. Wonderful. At least I hope the photo is wonderful. So here's the first photograph, and I think this is a great place to start. It's not great in any way, but I like it nevertheless, mainly for the light at the back. This was exactly why I got the photo in the first place, and I think my intuition at that moment was correct, seeing as the backlight on those trees gives the forest a gorgeous glow and a sense of anticipation of what lies ahead. Then, I was getting really excited to see what there is in the light ahead, seeing as I'd been on the shoot for about an hour and had so far only gotten that one photo. Oh yeah, beautiful. the difference that this light makes. So being as happy in this light as I was, I quickly found the next potential photograph. Here's the result, and I like it. The lighting makes such a significant difference. This photograph has this bright and slightly harsh sideway light. Although the light may be harsh, all the snow is bouncing the light around that no details are lost in the shadows, which I think gives the photo this beautiful, low contrast effect. Next, I spotted this slope going up the mountain, which I felt like shooting. I thought this lower perspective could look quite interesting. This is it, and again, the look of this place in this weather is simply wonderful. I think this photo is just another decent representation of the landscape. Okay, better meet to the light for that. This is going to be a great shot, I think. That mountain framed in between all these trees here looks very promising. F8 1500. Here we go. So I think I'm just going to be a basic photographer and just like completely center the mountain, but that's alright, I guess. I hope that shot was good, because I'm loving this view. Yes, it is, at least in my opinion. I love how this one turned out. The composition, more specifically the framing I was talking about, works perfectly. While there is a clear foreground, in this case the forest, the framing allows for the mountain to take a lot of the focus in the photo, so that the composition feels quite balanced. A little something I appreciate a lot are the trees on the right side that go high above the photo's frame. I like this because if they were not there, I think the photo would have too much negative space in the upper half, seeing as there aren't any clouds in the sky, it's just blue. So with those trees there, we cover some of that up and create some asymmetry in the composition in a good way. Like this. Definitely getting that. So I was admiring the way the light hit the trees from the side when I looked at them from here. Additionally, all the snow attached to the trees gives them some great extra texture, and in addition to that, I got the mountain framed in between the trees again, which I think is a fun bonus in the composition. It doesn't feel significant to me because the center of attention is on the trees, but I think it's a neat detail. I want to get just this scene here, but with the backlight, so from over here. I wonder. Just a little detail shot here. This is the detail shot, capturing more tree textures. I think this worked out nicely. The composition feels balanced and the backlight is giving the scene this dreamy glow that is a big part of what makes this photo interesting for me personally. I also enjoy how the focus in the composition remains in the foreground because the background is in the shade. Next, I wanted to get a photo of the forest with the sun shining its light through the trees. Oh god. This is the result, and I think this is a beautiful outcome. The backlight creates this dreamy atmosphere in this shot again. This is another one of those shots without a single center of attention subject. It's a picture of the whole scene, the trees in the snow, lit from behind by the morning sun, to create a mood that comes across effectively in my opinion. Alright, so I'm very happy about what we got here. It's not perfect because the sun has been rising for over an hour now, and so the light isn't just as good anymore, but still I think we've gotten some good shots as long as on the technical side everything worked and I exposed the film correctly. Whoa. Oh, can I shoot that like really quickly? Oh, I just got that really quickly. I have no idea if that worked out. Does anyone else pull off this stupid of a face when looking through the viewfinder? I hope I didn't just waste 2 shots there because I poorly composed the photo. Did it really quickly just to catch all the dust in the snow. Anyway, here's the photo of that scene. So what was so captivating for me in this moment was all the snow falling off the tree, creating these sparkles in the sunlight. The photo turned out a bit wilder than I was expecting. It's a bit blown out even. The sun lit up the snow dust so brightly that the right part of the photo is a bright sparkly mess and the forest is not clearly visible anymore. So in that sense, the photo didn't really work out so well, however, I still enjoy it a lot. It seems to represent the spontaneity of this shot in a playful way, which is just not what I was going for, but turned out to be pretty interesting. Here's the second shot, which isn't as messy. The snow had calmed down a bit by now, and the scene here is actually recognizable. As I was walking along the forest, keeping an eye out for possible compositions, I spotted a village in the valley between the trees. I thought this could be another great opportunity to frame the subject in between some trees. Here's the result, and I think this turned out beautifully. The idea with the framing worked out and results in this composition having quite a few layers, which gives the photo a lot of depth. The photo starts in the immediate foreground with the trees and then slopes down into the valley through the forest, and then beyond the valley the landscape rises up again to a hill and all the way to the mountain in the back, which I again tried to center between the trees, which conveniently was possible with the little village as well. So overall, I adore this shot. I think I'll get this one horizontally as well. Here's the horizontal version, and I cannot decide which I prefer. In general, I feel more drawn towards horizontal photos, it's just a personal preference, and this composition works great even horizontally. However, the horizontal orientation loses a little bit of the depth that I pointed out in the vertical version because it cuts off the bottom. I don't really know what to think, so let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have any. I don't know if these shots are going to get repetitive, but I'm really liking that village down there, and I think I'll try to get a photo without the mountain, like just the village down there. Let's see if this works out. I think I did the framing kind of badly. Yeah, I forgot that the viewfinder of the Pentax doesn't show the entire frame, so I composed the photo incorrectly and still got most of the mountain in the photo. Here's a crop that shows what I was going for. So maybe I just found something. I was wanting to shoot this here, but I found it alone would be a bit boring. But I think I might have just found a way to frame that mountain there with this together. And then maybe the shot would be more interesting. Let's try it out. My plan was to shoot this one with a wider lens I had brought along. So far I was shooting with a 35mm prime lens, and now this lens here is a 18 to 28mm lens, which enables me to get the entire view I was trying to capture. So how about this? This is the shot, and I like how this turned out overall. It's nice to see the scene through a wider lens, which gave me the ability to include all of this foreground in the composition without sacrificing too much of the top. Something you've probably already noticed is that the edges seem to have this strong fade. I don't know why, as I tried to reduce it in post, the middle got overly dark and muddy, so I just left it like this for now. I am now heading down already because, as I said, I need to get back into town and give Melly her car back by about 10 o'clock. I've got about a half-hour drive, so we need to head down this mountain now so that we can get to the parking area on time. And I'll try to get any shots on the way. On my way down, I decided to stop by at a trailer which I had already spotted on my way up. At that time, however, there wasn't any light in this area, so I didn't shoot a photo. But now, the sun had come high enough to also hit this spot here with some light, and so I tried to find a composition. Oh god. Well. This is the shot, and I enjoy the outcome. The light is pretty interesting here, I find, because it's scattered quite randomly after traveling through all the trees. So the light on the scene ends up to be just patches of light. The subject is also pretty cute, I think, which was the reason to get this picture in the first place. After getting that shot, I had a little something happen. There we go. Uh-oh, where's the GoPro? Not good, not good. That's what happens when you hike around risky, unstable paths and then just jump off it. Stupid of me. Oh shit, this is not good. This is not good. Okay. You know what? Let's go over here. So, after this unfortunate little accident and drying off my camera as best as I could, I was in a bit of a hurry to get off the mountain, but I really wanted to get one more shot over the forest here because the light was giving everything here such a dreamy glow. This is the shot, and I think it's a nice end of the shoot before rushing down the mountain. So, I had run down the rest of the mountain because I was already running late. However, the view from the parking area just had to be shot, so I quickly ran to the viewpoint before driving off. This is the shot, and you see now why I wanted to get the photo, right? The view here was so beautiful. I love the snowy landscape with the lake and the mountains and the cute Austrian houses. So, with that picture shot, I drove back home in a rush to return Melly's car. This session was a fun one. It started out as a failed mission because I couldn't reach the lake, but in the end, I think I was still quite fortunate to find the corner of the mountain that was in the sun, where I got almost all the photos of this session. My personal favorite of the day is this one. I'm still not entirely sure about the orientation, however, for me, usually the horizontal version intuitively feels better. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you have a different favorite? I look forward to reading. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd appreciate a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and I'll see you again next week in the next video. Until then, goodbye.